A very good morning to all. My name is Garima Sariyal and today we are continuing our chapter number 17, that is living and non-living things. So students, we have studied that we are surrounded by a lot of things like fan, animals, plants, chair, table, door, windows, etc. So some of them are natural and some of them are man-made. We have studied that man-made things are those things which are made by the men, and natural things are those things which are present already in our earth and which have not made by the men. So apart from that, there are some living and non-living things. Living things are those which have life and non-living things are those which do not have life. So this chapter, we also have studied some characteristics of the living things. We have studied that living things can breathe and living things also eat food to grow and to get energy. But non-living things do not breathe and they do not also eat the food. So we have studied the two characteristics in the previous class. Now today we'll study some more characteristics of the living things. So first characteristics which we are studying today is living things reproduce. So it is the most important feature that living things reproduce. Living things give birth to the new ones as they are. For example, like dogs. Dogs are living things. So dogs give birth to the puppies. Hens are also living things. So hens also lays egg, and after that eggs hatches. These little chickens comes out from those eggs. Human beings are also living beings. So human beings also give birth to the newborn baby. And we have studied that plants are also living beings. So the seed gives rise to a new plant. The plant of the seed, it also gives rise to the new plant. For example, wheat, rice, mango, apple. So these are the characteristics of living things which reproduce. So students, does your computer also reproduce? Does your computer also gives birth to the little babies? No. Yes, it doesn't give birth to the new little computer babies because it is non-living thing. So it does not reproduce. Next characteristics of living things is that they grow. If you have observed that few years back you were a very short and little kid, and today you must have become a taller person, a taller child. So all of the living things, all of the living beings grow. This is also the characteristics of living things. So for example, seeds grow into new plants. We have studied that when you put the seed into the soil, that it becomes to the plant. So the buds which comes to that plant then grow into flowers. Then the flowers grow into fruit, and the fruit again produces seed which grow into the new plants. If you have observed, when you eat apple, oranges, mangoes, that you can find some seeds in that fruit, right? And if you put that seeds into the soil, then they become to the new plant. Then the new plant grow from that seed. So see the life cycle of the hen carefully. This is the adult hen. This has given some eggs here, and when these eggs hatches, these give birth to these little chicks. Then these little chicks will become the adult, and they will also give the eggs. They will also lay some eggs, and again the whole process, the whole cycle will repeat it. So this means this is the characteristics of the living beings that they grow. You see, this was the adult hen. This has laid some egg. Then the egg has hatched. Then these chickens are come out from these eggs. And then they have become these adult. And then again they have given the eggs. So these are also the characteristics of living beings that they grow. So, can you say something that the clothes which you wear 5 years back, do you also wear them today? No. Do you know why? Because they are non-living thing and they do not grow. Right? Clothes are also non-living thing, so they do not grow, and that is why you are not wearing them today also. So next characteristics we are studying about the living things is that living things move. When you go to the market, when you go to the school, when you go to some place, you go by the help of your legs, right? Which means you move from one place to another place. If you are going to the market from your home, this means you are moving from your home to the market by the help of your legs. So human beings move by the legs, same as the birds, they move by the help of their wings. Some insects move by the help of their legs also. But some animals like snake do not have legs, so that is why a snake crawls. It doesn't have legs, that is why it crawls and moves from one place to another place. So if you have seen one plant that is called touch me not, if you have seen that plant touch me not, if you touch the leaves of that plant, it immediately that will shrink. The leaves of that plant immediately shrink. That is also show the movement in plants. All the trees and plants do not move because everything which they need, they get from the soil where they are present. But some plants like touch me not, the leaves looks like this, and when you touch the leaves of these plants, that will shrink immediately. See, I have the branch of the touch me not. If you see this picture, the leaves looks like this, but if you observe here, the leaves are shrink down. See, all the leaves are closed, right? So when we touch the leaves of the plant, touch me not, it looks like this, okay? So can you tell me, does your book moves? When you don't have mood to study, does your book comes to you by themselves? No, because they are non-living things. Our books are also non-living things. That is why they do not move. Next characteristic of living beings is that living things feel. So students, when you touch some sharp object, or if you touch some any hot object or any cold object, then you just immediately put your hand back, because you can feel that hotness, you can feel the hotness of that object, you can feel the coldness of that object. Or if you have touched any sharp object, we can say the nail, then you will immediately put your hand back, because you can feel all the things. This is because living things can feel. Animals and humans have sense organs. You must have studied in your previous classes about the sense organs, right? And what are our sense organs? Yes, we all have 5 sense organs. These are our eyes, nose, tongue, ear and the skin. And these all sense organs help us to feel the things around our surroundings. But student, see, plants also can feel things. The plants always grow towards the sun. From where they are getting the sunlight, they always grow from that direction. If you have observed the sunflower always face towards the sun. See, this is the sunflower. It will always move towards the sun. And the feeling that the feeling plants that they can feel is that flowers in plants also blooms in a particular season. The flowers or the plants do not bloom every time in all the seasons. There are some particular season in which the flowers of the plants blooms. So this is also the characteristics, this is also the proof that plants can also feel things, right? So students, can you tell me that your television can feel when you touch your television? No, because it is the non-living thing. So it does not feel anything. So students, we have studied a lot of characteristics in this chapter of the living things. First, we have studied that living things can eat food. Next, we have studied that living things breathe. Third, we have studied that living things reproduce. Fourth, we have studied that living things grow. Fifth, we have studied that living things move. And sixth characteristics, we have studied that living things can feel. So these are the characteristics of living things. But when we have differentiate from the non-living things, then we have find that all the things which living things can feel, that was not happening with the non-living things. But student, it doesn't mean that non-living things are not important for us. See, water, air, soil, these are non-living things, but they are also important for us. Water is very important, air is very important, soil is very important, and a lot of various things which are non-living things, they are also important for us, for animals, and for plants for living. So students, I hope you have understand what we have taught in this chapter. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.